Hey, my name is Megan and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm a published author, a professional writer, and a huge bookworm. I've been freelance writing for years. I have self-published one book and I am constantly querying literary agents so that I can hopefully be traditionally published one day. And today I want to talk about something I think a lot of content creators have kind of been stressing about over the last several months, and that is artificial intelligence. More specifically, I want to talk about if AI is capable of replacing authors and other writers. First, let's talk about how AI relates to us at all. What some people are indeed doing, or what many of us are concerned writers are doing, is using artificial intelligence to, in the case of authors, write entire books. Writing a book can take years and years, and using something like ChatGPT or Claude, you can do it fairly quickly for literal pennies. There are writers who have done this, and some of them have been busted. They've gotten busted. I'll try to find one of the articles if I can dig it up, but I remember reading recently about a man who wrote a children's book and it took off on Amazon, and then everyone learned it was AI generated, and that made him look really, really bad. Using AI to write entire books isn't safe to do, and it won't work in your favor anyway, which is great news for all of the other writers who want to continue writing books the normal way. Now, if you are querying literary agents like I am, you may have noticed, I've seen this repeatedly lately, a lot of agencies have put on their websites that they don't accept AI generated content. And one of the primary reasons for that is that it is a huge liability. It's a huge risk. To better understand this, let's talk from a very, very, very high level about how AI works. I'm not an AI expert. The only reason I know a little bit about it is because I work in tech. I'm an editor, so I read a lot, and that's how I've picked a lot of this up. In a nutshell, AI is trained on content that already exists online. So it consumes other content and uses it to create new content when you type in a prompt. So when you go into ChatGPT or Claude or whatever, and you type in, write me 500 words about boats, for example, ChatGPT is gonna go digging in the archives and use everything it's ever consumed about boats to write you 500 words. It's very quick and it's very cheap. Now, ideally, the way AI would work for a user is you go in there, you go into ChatGPT, and you say, write me 500 words about boats, and ChatGPT produces 100% unique content that it came up with that's also 100% accurate. But that is not how it works. Not consistently enough. What we're seeing happening with AI is that it will produce you 500 words about boats, but it might be plagiarized from another website, or it could be completely inaccurate. Now, we could pause here already and understand why an agent wouldn't want AI-generated content, because if it's plagiarized, that could get them in trouble, it could get the publisher in trouble. They don't want to go anywhere near that. They want something that you wrote with your own two hands and your own brain. We've already seen the fallout from this to extremes. For example, if I can dig up the link, I'll paste it in the description below. There was a lawyer who used AI in his case and referenced previous court cases that didn't exist. I am a health writer. I write a lot about health and medical related topics as a freelancer, and I have seen AI completely make up medical health related information that thankfully I caught because I just knew it was wrong. I've been writing about this for a long time, so I knew it was wrong. But that was very concerning and very eye-opening to me. Now, can AI work the way we want it to? Yes. I have also seen ChatGPT and Claude generate content that I ran through a plagiarism checker, and it did appear to be unique. And the information was very basic, so I knew it was correct. But I mean, that's on a very, very small scale and very confined. But imagine doing this for an 80,000 word book. If you as an author use AI to write 80,000 words, are you also going to take personal responsibility to make sure that that writing is 100% unique and 100% accurate? That's a lot of pressure. Whereas if you had just written it on your own from scratch, you would know that it was accurate and unique. This is why AI cannot replace writers. I don't even use AI for my blogs. I write, usually my blogs are around 1,000 words each, give or take. It's too risky. I've caught it, dropping the ball too many times. It makes me feel very nervous. And the last thing I'm going to do is fill my clients' websites with AI generated content and risk, that coming back to bite them later on. And there are no reliable AI checkers yet. Maybe there will be in the future, but there are plagiarism checkers, for instance, where you can put a piece of content in and it'll tell you if it was ripped off of another website. I've tried several AI checkers and they're never reliable. If you check 5 different websites to see if content was AI generated, you're going to get 5 different results. You don't know who to believe. So to writers who are thinking that AI can be, kind of a quicker path to publication or money, it's not. And if you're a writer worrying about those authors using AI, you don't have to worry about it. All that being said, will AI get to a place where it can reliably produce accurate, unique content? Maybe. I have to say I was very skeptical when AI kind of started blowing up, and I didn't even think it would get as far as it's gotten. And on top of that, in such a short amount of time. But even then, I still don't see agents and publishers ever being okay with it or feeling comfortable with it because, again, going back to the example of using it to write an 80,000 word book, who's going to want to take responsibility for that? Who's going to be comfortable saying, okay, if any of these 80,000 words are inaccurate or plagiarized, blame me? No one's going to want to take that risk. I certainly wouldn't. Does this mean that there's no appropriate use for AI? No, I think there's a time and a place for it. Again, like I said earlier, I do not use it to do any of my actual writing. I wouldn't even use it to write a single paragraph. But also, maybe I'm biased because I've been a professional writer for about 15 years. I love writing. I don't want AI to do my job for me, and I can do it better. I've worked with other content creators who have sent me AI generated content, and I knew it was AI generated. It sounds very robotic. That might change in the future. AI might get better at sounding more human, but right now, a lot of the time, it's easy enough to spot if you know what to look for. So I don't use AI to create content. I have used it before for ideas. I've used it as kind of a thesaurus. There's also thesaurus.com, I understand. But I've used AI to say, like, this is what I'm trying to say, give me 5 ways to word it. And I will use that as inspiration and then rewrite it, or that's a mouthful, rewrite it or tweak it so that it's still coming from me. I've seen writers use AI to help them write titles and descriptions. So I think it's a good tool. It's a good complement, but it doesn't replace humans doing the actual writing. That is why for authors specifically, I really don't think we need to worry about it. I think from everything I've seen and heard, agents kind of, their radars are up and they don't want to be working with authors who rely on AI. It's not a band-aid. It's not a get-rich-quick thing. It just doesn't work like that. You can use it to support your writing efforts, but you are not going to write an entire book and ultimately find success with it. I was so anti-AI and anti-ChatGPT in the beginning because I immediately knew that it was going to make it harder for freelance writers like me to get as much work, because even though I know that it can't replace humans, companies, potential clients who are trying to kind of save money and cut corners, which in this economy, that's everybody, a lot of them don't know or don't care that AI isn't anywhere as good as a human writer. They're gonna see that if I'm charging them $400 for a blog and they can have AI write it for less than $1, why would they hire me? So I was very, very against it in the beginning, and in many ways I still am, but I do believe, like I said, there's a time and a place. That time and place is not writing books. I hope this brought you some comfort, or if you are an author using AI, I hope it has led you to pause and rethink. Technology is amazing, but it has its limits. AI is not bulletproof and it's not 100% reliable. So we need to approach it, taking that into account, that it can't be fully trusted. I hope you like this video. If you do, or you have any feedback, drop me a comment. If you have requests for future videos, also leave me a comment. I'd love to hear from you. And if you're still here, give the video a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.